This is Lena Hunt, and my genie in crime, Peter Salveson, is feeling a bit under the weather, although he's getting better. And if anyone of you know anything about me, it's just that I can never wait to get things started. So I thought I would test this out. This is my first podcast, and what I'd like to tell you is what the M3W Life podcast and the M3W Life is about. It's about helping people to make their wishes come true. And one of them is to help you think about your wishes and how you're wishing. For instance, I had a situation where I was wishing for this fabulous house and to own a fabulous house with a swimming pool and a sauna and room to do my content creation, video, podcasts, all my brand ambassador marketing, modeling, fitness, the whole works. So basically, need a very large house in a quiet neighborhood with the pool and the sauna and all these extras and a home gym. Well, we were looking at buying, but it just didn't work out. We're just a little bit short of reaching our goals. So instead, we thought about it and got the bright idea of why don't we look for a house to rent? Kind of disappointing, for having to rent versus owning. But then we thought, let's just go look. So looked around and found a couple of amazing homes, which we wouldn't be able to afford to buy, plus all the upkeeps and the taxes and whatnots. But we were able to rent them. And the thing is, the home that we really wanted to rent, was the most magnificent home. And the property management owners were way pickier. And we just really thought, we'll do a backup and see what happens. So we chose a backup. It is a rental home made for just renting versus the home that we wanted, which had a one owner and they're just renting it out for long term. The other one was completely lived in by renters. So you can see the big difference. One was totally customized and well loved and just beautiful as can be, decorated and all the extras. And the other was more generic. Although it did have what we wanted, it just wasn't fabulous. So it turned out that the home we really, really wanted and didn't really think we would get, we got. And the home that was for renters only, they denied us, which was really crazy, but it was such a great blessing because that just closed the doors on any other thing and opened the only door to the wish that we really wanted. So the lesson here is that we wanted that dream house, and our thinking was we would buy it, find one and buy it, but the lowest credit score we had is a little bit too low, and that's the score that they use for when they make a decision on granting you the loan. But we are moving into a home that's fabulous, minus all the expenses and responsibilities and maintenance of owning that home, which is excellent because in this seller's market, who wants to be buying at the top? As well as the home is about $1 million. And for us to buy this home, we wouldn't be able to afford it. So instead of changing our wish, we changed the way we were wishing, and we still got the same results. Awesome. Now, we have the M3W Life Facebook page. On that page, it is a place, a community where others are listing their three wishes and encouraging one another. Now, people think that finding three wishes is easy. I mean, I have so many things that I wish for. The list just goes on and on and on. However, when we start with the first three, bring it down to three, that's a lot tougher. So you have to think about, what are my top three wishes? Because I want good health, I want to be physically fit, I want $10 million.
Hello.
Hey, Chaz, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Excellent. So, everyone, this is my son, Chaz. He's my right hand man, and he is also an entrepreneur. Um, we have been entrepreneurs and macheting the path for decades. Chaz, I want to have you talk in a little bit, but I want to finish up what I was talking about. Is that okay?
Sure.
Awesome. Anyways, listeners, I was talking about how you must make your wishes detailed, not vague. So, we all can wish about our health and the things we want materialistically or some job improvement. But the idea and the way to make it happen is to really hone in on your wishes. Now, I talked about a dream home. I want to include that wishes aren't just about material things. My own experience is also wishing that I could get my health back. Having been hit by several cars, I was a fitness instructor, personal trainer, running marathons, you name it, and then was hit by several cars, not my fault, rear ended at a stoplight, etc. So for about 2.5 years, my wish was just to be able to get up and walk and do the normal basic things. And when you go from a life of complete fitness and training others and encouraging them in a healthy lifestyle and active lifestyle, and all you have to do for almost 2 years is to lay on your back in bed, that is extremely, extremely beyond just wanting to be able to wish for the basics, get up out of bed on your own. So when you're there, just really thinking about life, and your wishes are just, I wish I could pull myself up to a sitting position. So when I'm telling you about my dream home wish, that's not to negate that I have other wishes that are way more important. But the thing is, the M3W Life and this podcast as well is to encourage you to really pick your main three wishes, to get them to the very details, and then even write them down, list all the details so that you can have the mindset of starting to, what can I do to take action? It's all about the action. And Chas, what I want you to do is talk about, you're involved in the M3W Life Facebook page, which has really started out with a bang. A lot of people are engaging. Tell me what you have gained or learned or found by being involved in that Facebook page.
Well, so far, overall, just Facebook groups in general, new to them. But I've found that being involved and reaching out to people and having a structure of understanding and commonality with mutual goals and aspirations is a huge, huge part of connecting people. So as even though you've never met these people in groups or you never really even talked to them before, you can find sort of a reason to connect with them. And even before this group, I had used groups for I do a lot of music marketing and stuff. So when it's marketing, networking is a big part of it. So Facebook groups have always been an outlet and sort of, if anything, like a wild,
That's
never
true.
really know who you're connecting with until you can kind of see what mutual benefit comes from connecting with them and them, right? So with the My Three Wishes group, it's really in the same way, the sky's the limit because so far, just the first month, uh, the group was started in December. In the first month, we've had over 380 members join, and these are friends and family, but it's also expanded beyond that to people who just find interest that we share. That's what it is. It's a shared interest, and at the end of the day, the My Three Wishes outlook on life and motivation and all of that. It's a law of attraction. So it's teaching people the power of envision their goals and their mindsets. And then the unique thing about the group is it's a place to highlight have come to fruition, which is really, really neat because usually a lot of Facebook groups, they focus a lot on motivating and this positivity thing, and it's almost to a point where people don't really necessarily respond to just over and over, hey, keep on going and everything's going to be fine and keep calm and
Right.
carry. Sometimes it's about the proof, the living proof, and that's kind of the spin on it that the My Three Wishes group has. Is they're proving, hey, here is one of three things that is good. Here's two of three things. Here's three of three things that has come true. And so living out that process in front of a group of people that you're, that's a pretty special thing, and I'm looking forward to what happens next with the group as far as highlighting more of achievements that people are reaching and milestones that people are hitting, but also the group focus things like the giveaways and other contests, and getting people into more of a mindset of how to share it and how to grow it, and basically all the things that people are going to achieve. It's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to when we can get the group bigger. Like I said, it's just at the first 380 members or so. The last time I checked, it was about 380. So once it hits 500 and then 1,000, it's gonna keep expanding, and it's gonna take its own shape and it's gonna become its own entity. So that's gonna be what I'm looking forward to the most about the group. And then also I plan to, start sharing some of my personal endeavors and interests and goals and wishes. I'm still so far out from some of them that they're intimidating,
Uh-huh.
but through taking it step by step and envisioning it and seeing the possibility and getting to that next side, I will get to that point where I feel confident about, hey, here's my own wish that came true. So the day that I get to share that will be an exciting day as well.
That is fabulous. The way we started is Peter and I are long time friends in college, and we used to sit around in the college dorm, and he was picking on his guitar and writing, and I was doing my drawings and writing, and that was just two college students, and we lost touch for about 30, 31 years, reconnected, and as we talked on the phone, it was just phenomenal because it was like we lived parallel lives. We spent our lives making our wishes come true without, I mean, we knew it, but not to this sense. Peter would say, yeah, I long to do this, and I found a way to do that, and I did the same, and really it wasn't always easy. It sounds like, I don't want it to sound like here are these two, their own genies and they poof made it happen. No, there were lots of tough roads, a lot of long drives, a lot of ups and downs. The bills were paid, the bills weren't paid. People came along, people dropped off, and but we realized, wow, we've been doing the my three wishes. We've been our own genies all this time, and we just had so much in common. It was like didn't even miss a day in the life of being together as friends. And so we just thought, we'll start this. And for each of us, Peter and I both were entrepreneurs as well. And the thing was, we ran into our own stories and experience, as well as people who just couldn't really pinpoint how to make this wish come true, or how to even make a wish. And we started thinking about, now this is our own path, not together, thinking about, I still want the same wish, I still want the same results, but maybe I need to accomplish it or think about it in a different way. And as we're into this Facebook group now, we realize that a lot of them, like you said, are family and friends, and then friends and family of those family and friends. So there's a link, and then there are a few people who just came out of nowhere. But overall, there's this loyalty, and we want to encourage people with like the prizes, the giveaways, and also not only that, but we talked about how people who are older, like us, in our 50s and 60s, can contribute to the younger people who want to start a business or who want to do this or that. And then we can learn from the younger people. So, in that sense, the group is encourage one another in not just the yay, we're your cheerleader, but actually taking action. So, like you said, it is really something that's very different, and it is even morphing into more than what I even dreamed of because, with one another, each other helping each other, and we're talking about having a way where people can bring their knowledge and skills and whatever resources they have to help people who want to be in their shoes. So we have a member, for instance, he's retired, he had a food truck. And we've got a younger person who wants to start a food truck. It's just great to be able to pair those two up. So I see that there's so much more for this group, and we have a lot more in store for them. And I just think that it's also very right on point in a world where we're so always talking about what we don't like. What do you think about that? People are talking the news, everything is just so negative and fearful, and
Yeah, there's also the old quote, comparison is the enemy of joy, right? And social
Mhm.
media and everything, we're always comparing, and even when we have an idea that's real to us, a lot of times the world will have us thinking, or the internet will have us thinking, that's going to be hard, or that's not going to be as good as this other person did it, or I'm overwhelmed. And the unique thing about a group like this is they're not highlighting any of those negative aspects. They're focusing on the frequency and tuning into the journey and making
Right.
it happen and getting one from one place to another. And that's really how things happen is, the future is developed by the, succession of decisions we make today and now. So that you're overwhelmed, well, tomorrow you're going to feel that way too. If you decide today, hey, I don't know every answer to everything I need, this thing right now, I can say yes to that. As far as you need to get, and you can be proud of yourself, and not only that, you have a place to learn that from and to highlight that and to share it. So it's a definitely a cool outlet to that kind of turns the typical internet sort of on its head to really focus on what are the positives here, and what are even in the moments that it doesn't seem positive, what are the positive things that we can look at. So it's a positivity page, I see it, but it's also a motivation page, but it's also a lifestyle. So
Hmm.
it multifaceted, but it's back to, you know, that law of attraction, and envisioning what your wish is, and taking the steps to make it happen. So it's definitely a unique page.
You're very right. And the thing is, we really want people to see how they are their own genies. And, it is very motivational, encouraging, and real. And I'm going to call out Shelly, for instance. There are people who have come in there. I've had private conversations with people. Peter's had private conversations because topics are heavy or people don't want to share publicly. Yet I'll draw out Shelly Meyer. Her thing is she's an author. She's had a book for years. Now she has two books, but she just couldn't get out there. And her goal was just to keep editing these books. And I talked to her and I said, why don't we just start promoting them instead of just keep editing and editing and editing? Why don't we just, you've got some great books, even if you can fine tune them, let's get them out there. And
Mm,
she said, but how? And I said, well, you can blog your book, you can do a YouTube channel, you can podcast. And Shelly, not being so out there, visual, audio like I am, she started her own TikTok and she started YouTube. Even though she may not be comfortable, even if there's so many ums and ahs and not as loudmouth like I am, she's doing it. She's doing it. She's looking fabulous, and it's building
yeah,
her confidence, and it's drawing people and it's promoting her book instead of editing once more, again and again, and
yeah.
no one knows about it. So
So that actually reminds me of something that I think about a lot, that I learned a few years ago, and I've seen proof of it a lot. Is uh, letting side kind of die off, like an ego death, to where
yes.
you don't sit there and arbitrate. Okay, we don't need to be the arbiter of uh arbitrary goals. Okay, arbitrary goal is I need this book out and I need it to exist on this platform. Well, that's great. That's a good goal, but that is very self-appealing, self-appeasing, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you could go and do that. You could go and put it in wherever, and that's all it will ever be. That's it. But really, in reality, how the future works is when you don't arbitrate and you don't decide, hey, this is the start and end of this goal, and like this happens. It's good to have goals, but at the same time, you have to be open to the possibility of the future being better than you ever imagined. So if you put it out there and you just say, hey, I'm taking a little bit of a shot in the dark. This is foreign to me. Being self-aware that way,
Right.
where you can say, hey, I'm outside of what I'm comfortable with, outside the comfort zone. You get to a place where you're comfortable in the foreign feeling, and once you do that, you stop serving yourself as much and you start serving others. Point where, hey, Shelley's book or XYZ project or whatever, it's not there yet. It's not crystal clear behind it. I understand that story and I understand the purpose and the why of what they're doing. Maybe the what, maybe the product, the book, the business, the food truck isn't there yet, but the why and the purpose is what other people connect to because
Exactly.
they share their own purpose. They have their own why. So that's one of the big things I've learned the past couple of years is people why you do it and focusing on like what challenges you and what have had instead of relying on an arbitrary goal of hey my song's on Spotify, go listen to it. That's totally different than
Right.
saying I've prepared this whole moment to make this music video and my dad was the music director in church, so I've been singing
It's the
12 years
journey,
old.
right? It's the journey
It's
of
the
it.
journey, yeah, that's what people share is the journey and the purpose behind what led you there. So yeah, that's a huge.
And then, we have some people who just stated they just gave up. They don't wish anymore. They don't dream anymore. And we've had private conversations and public conversations at that group. And, we're going to have resources for people who need those resources. So there's a lot in store. I really want to encourage people to be enjoying the M3W Life Facebook group. We've got way, 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 way so many stuff in store. It's unbelievable. We're giving away a free guidebook right now. And there's going to be so much more, including our YouTube or video channel. And I can't say all the other things that we have in store, but I do know that this is way more than I dreamed of. I really thought, let's have something where we help people be the genie, and I had a vision of it, and Peter and I had a vision, but like you said, it is morphing itself into what people really want, and that's so much excitement, and that is getting on the train and enjoying that journey, and the journey will take different routes and go different ways and look and smell and feel and sound differently than we think, but it is real, and it's really, I feel like this is really needed in a time like this when there's just so much to make us worried and negative and feel like, oh, I'm too old, or oh, the world, the news is so, I have to live in fear. I feel like this is something that the more I see people engaged, the more excited, the more they encourage me to continue making my wishes and their wishes come true. So,
Absolutely, yeah.
so where can people find this Facebook group again?
So you'll go to Facebook and search groups for M3W Life, and that's the name of the Facebook group. The website too at I believe it's the same URL, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or my
That's
three
kind of a
wishes.
secret. That's kind
What's
of
that?
secret, or it's kind of a secret that
Oh, is
because
it?
we're still working
Oh,
on some things. So I guess we won't give out the link yet.
yeah. I guess. Yeah, I think I had it wrong anyway. So the link will be the link. The link will be live, and we'll announce all that once the it is finalized. But there is a website coming. Yeah, like you said, we can't give it away, but there are other things in the works. YouTube channel, and prizes, all kinds of good things coming up. So as those develop, we'll be able to share them.
Absolutely. We can't give the website away yet, but we do have a lot of giveaways that we are giving away. So thank you, listeners, for being here. And tune in next time. Hopefully, we'll get Peter, and he will tell us more about his side of it. And I'm hoping that he'll be able to find and warm up to the idea that I have for him to be shown and seen in a genie costume. He's afraid that, being his height and his size, that the cheap, I guess, imported genie costumes that you find at parties for us or whatever is just going to split, and it won't be too great. But he said it would be, I guess, better than wearing the yoga pants that he's been wearing. So tune in next time, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. All right. Bye.